Hi, welcome back. My name is Frankie, and this is Frankie Talks Too Much, where we talk about everything on my brain, oversharing, overthinking, and pop culture. I hope this podcast sounds like a FaceTime call from a friend, and that friend being me, Frankie. So, what a whirlwind of a month it has been. I started this podcast 1 month ago, and I can't believe I have been this consistent, and I also can't believe how much easier it's been and how much smoother it feels, and even how much more natural I feel doing podcasting. Like, I always knew podcasting might be my calling in life, but I never pursued it until a month ago, and I'm surprised at how easy it came for me. That I am a psychopath and can talk to myself for 30 to 45 minutes. That's actually crazy. Last week, I interviewed my husband. That was absolutely amazing. I love that man so much. I am so grateful for him. I'm so grateful for everyone who tuned in. I feel like I got more feedback on that last episode with Dante, which makes me think maybe I should bring on more guests. I didn't plan for this to be like a guest podcast, but I'd also love to bring on guests because the people in my life are just as, if not more interesting than me. So I'd love to interview my siblings, my friends, my family, different people, even, and if any of my Power Life instructors are listening to this, even some of my Power Life friends, because I think that people would find other people's lives more interesting, and maybe I can dabble into the whole interviewing sphere. I liked the format of what I did with Dante because we did Would You Rather questions, and surprisingly, for those of you who don't know, one of my clips went not viral. I got 20,000 views, which is a lot to me. And that was on Reels. And I feel like the Reels people, the Instagram Reels people, are a little more harsh than like TikTok. They might be a little more mean, a little more catty, but it was my question of, would you rather have $50,000 now or $1,000 for every mile you ran under 10 minutes? And I think most people said that they would rather take the $1,000 for every mile, but I think some people are overestimating how much they can run, but at the same time, I feel like I could become a runner. I mean, I do have to do the zoo run in September here in Kansas City, and it's only 4 miles, and I did it last year. It's not bad. Can I run 4 miles? Yes, I can easily run 4 miles, but will I get injured? Maybe. What if it's a really hot day? Am I ready for that? All these things I have to consider. Plus, my husband wants to run with me. He is definitely faster than me. He also just has more endurance than I do. Like, he can push his body further, whereas, when I get tired, I just want to quit. Like, I feel like I'm done running at a certain point, and I'll just stop and walk. But anyway, all of these things, talking about my husband, I love him so much. I am not a gambling person, but I will say I gambled a lot marrying my husband because we were both so dirt poor when we first got married. We had so much debt. It's not even funny. But after we got married, he definitely showed like a greater interest in working hard, making money, even if it's physical labor. Now he does not do physical labor. He is an IT guy. But I gambled getting married with my husband at the ripe age of, I had just turned 22 like 2 days before we got married. And it paid off. I am so grateful for our life. I love my husband. That gamble is the best gamble I took. I would take it again. I will not go to the casino and gamble because I am unlucky and I actually don't know how to gamble, even though I lived in Vegas for 2 years. I did really want to join like the gambling school that they have in Las Vegas, or like the casino basics school or something, so that way I could learn to become a dealer. That was when I was like going on different side quests of things I would do. And I ended up working at a wedding chapel, but I worked in their photography department. So I didn't even take the pictures. I helped print the pictures for the people who were selling them. It was a great job, but I had to quit because I had the worst schedule. And they made us all come in on the 4th of July in the morning for a team meeting. Like, now that I'm older, that's kind of crazy. Like, who wants to meet at 8 a.m. on the 4th of July to have a team meeting about who knows what? Pictures? But I mean, it was a great place to work at, except you had to wear a collared shirt every day, and that was tough to like think of new outfits each day. But I pretty much bought 2 blazers and wore a new blazer every day. Anyway, going back to talking about this summer, our kids are finally done with summer school and summer camp. But I was at family reunion last week, and I was telling one of my cousins that, oh, my son, he finished summer school this week, and my daughter finishes on Thursday. And she was like, summer school? Like, you're mean for putting your kids in summer school. And I think that conversation is like needs to be had. Like, summer school, especially for a 5-year-old little boy, is fun. They're doing art. They're learning about reading. They're learning math. They're watching movies. They're playing outside. But a lot of art, because he brought a lot of art projects back. He made new friends. He learned how to make new friends. He learned how to be with a teacher he hasn't known for an entire year. So I think summer school is beneficial for the younger kids. I went to summer school probably until I was in like 6th grade, because it was either summer school or hang out with grandma all day, which, I mean, now that I'm older, time with grandma would be amazing. But when I was younger, I didn't want to sit and watch Maury all day. Like, I wasn't interested in her daytime soap operas. So I think that there shouldn't be a negative stigma around summer school. And I mean, there isn't a negative stigma around summer camps. So what's wrong with summer school? Summer school, especially for the younger kids, is basically summer camp. I did go to summer school in high school, but just to get rid of those basic classes like personal finance. Like, I wasn't going to take that during the school year because I had a good head on my shoulders. I knew a good chunk about finance. So I took that during summer school. I think I took like a PE class too, because I am not athletic. I did play basketball my freshman year of high school, and maybe one day we'll talk about that. But I was just not interested in taking PE in high school, so I took it during summer school, which was kind of a blow off. Amazing. Got my credit, got my A. Well, I think it was pass fail, but I got my pass. And yes, I think there shouldn't be a negative stigma around summer school. But even for like high schoolers who are making up like credits, like, it's not a bad thing. Like, it's great to have that safety net, in my opinion. But talking about summer, and now that summer school is done and summer camp is done, I feel like, especially in summer, there's just not enough time during the day. The sun is up longer, so I feel like I should have more time, but everything is moving by so fast. I'm filming this at 10:50 a.m. I woke up at 6 a.m. to go to a Power Life class out on the plaza, and how is it already almost noon? Like, I'm not even ready for lunch. My mother-in-law is in town, so I do have to think of something fun to do with her and like go and get lunch. But the day is just moving by so quick, and I feel like I don't even have a chance to breathe by the end of the day. It's time for Love Island when I feel like I just made and cleaned up lunch. So that's something that I'm struggling with this summer. Maybe I could get started with my day earlier. Like, maybe I could take maybe a 6 a.m. workout class. Then I would have the whole day to myself. But just lately, I feel like the days are just so short in the summer. But anyway, I want to be a really good mom this summer and have really fun activities for my kids every day, because I only get summer for like a month and a half. So anyway, I just don't want to be like a woe is me mom, like a mom who is miserable all the time. Like, I'm so scared that my kids are going to say, oh, my mom was always miserable. Like, she just was always in a rush. She always was sick, or her stomach always hurt, or she was always sore. I just don't want to be like that. So maybe I do need to wake up earlier to take care of myself physically and emotionally, so that way I can be with my kids. But I don't want to be a miserable mom. I don't want to be a mom that's always in a rush. So that's something I'm going to work on this summer, now that I get my kids all the time, which is great. And speaking of having them all the time, I'm going to have to start podcasting probably Monday mornings early or Sunday night. But Sunday night is just not a good time for me to do anything. I just want to be in bed, cuddled up, watching TV. Anyway, I also really want to, and I started doing this doing this week, but I kind of gave up around the 4th, around the holiday. But I need to start trying to post 3 times a day, at least on TikTok. I really want to get my podcast growing. I am so grateful for the growth that it already has. And I'm so grateful for everyone who is still listening, even here on my 6th episode. But I really need to grow it a little bit more. So I'm going to start trying to post 3 times a day on TikTok and maybe more often on my Instagram stories this week, starting today. But it's kind of scary to have to post on TikTok, especially when I'm getting like 250 to 300 views. Like, I know that means that people are not sitting for my videos, so I need to figure out different ways to like capture people's attention. So that's one of my goals this week, is to try to post 3 times a day, even though it feels so embarrassing that nobody's watching. I wish nobody could see the amount of views on TikTok so I could post whatever. And if nobody watches it, it's okay, because who cares? And nobody knows. Anyway, I saw a quote that said, "Do it scared," but I'm always scared. Like, I'm always scared to embarrass myself, to humiliate myself. This podcast is one of those things that I was really scared to do, and I am still always scared to do, but doing it scared is tough. Anyway, what else I did this week? We went to the Omaha Zoo. That's like 3 hours from KC. Totally worth it. The best zoo ever. I loved it. Last time we went in March, and the splash pad was closed. The splash pad at the Omaha Zoo was amazing. It was really smart for us to stop halfway through the day and run to the splash pad, and my kids got like a second wind of energy. So they made it the whole day. We ended up going to Chick-fil-A. I just didn't have the energy to look for like a more local place to stop and eat. Usually we go to a pizza place, but we had just had pizza that night while we were at the church fireworks. So yeah, we went to Chick-fil-A, and then we went and saw the little Mormon things in Omaha. There's quite a bit of history, Mormon history up there. So it was cool showing my mother-in-law those things because she's from Las Vegas. But the 4th of July was amazing. We ate so much food. Dante made the best ribs, the best Hawaiian-style chicken. I ate so many hot dogs. And we pretty much ate a big lunch and then snacked on lunch leftovers throughout the day. My son enjoyed the fireworks so much. He just kept saying, "I'm so excited, I'm so excited. I love this month, I love July." So now that I know he's a pyro, I got to keep things away from him, because I know if he had a choice, he'd probably still be outside lighting fireworks. My daughter, terrified of fireworks, so my husband and I took turns going and sitting with her in the car so that way she would be less scared of the fireworks. So we went to 2 fireworks shows, and yeah, my husband and I took turns sitting with her. I don't know what it is about fireworks. Last year she was fine with the fireworks with her headphones on. She's not like a super sensory type kid. It's just fireworks. Like, I don't know. I've known her entire life. I should know this, but I have no idea why she's so scared of fireworks. But it was fun swimming and seeing family before they head back to Utah and Idaho. But fireworks, I don't know, like, I like the look of fireworks. I think I would like a drone show better. But I just feel like it's so loud. It's kind of overstimulating. I'm turning into my daughter. It's overstimulating. They're so expensive. I gave my husband a $50 budget because I am not spending a lot of money on fireworks this year. But I also want my children to have the experience of fireworks. But I just feel like fireworks are such a waste of money. Like, you're literally burning money. And it's going on all the time. My mom's neighborhood sounds like a war zone. It's outside of city limits, but it's in county limits. So it feels like it's just a free-for-all over there. But yes, I don't love fireworks. I don't love the smell of fireworks. I don't love how much they cost. I don't love how, I feel like, yes, I know most fireworks stands are there for like fundraisers, like people use them for fundraisers, but it feels a little predatory, like, oh, go ahead, spend your whole paycheck on fireworks. Like, that's actually crazy. But I mean, you can do what you want with your money, and I'm not here to judge unless I'm doing your budget, and I love budgeting. So one day I'll talk about budgeting And one day I'll talk about my weight loss journey. I have so many topics to talk about. But I want to talk about the things I'm obsessed with this week. All week, I've been craving a second dinner around 9 p.m. Like 9 p.m. rolls around and I'm ready to keep eating. I'm ready to not just get a snack, but I want a full meal at 9 p.m., even though I ate at 5. It's funny that I was just talking about my weight loss journey when I just want to eat super late at night, and me cutting out eating late at night is why I lost quite a bit of weight since 2023. But I've just been obsessed with eating a second dinner. Like, second dinner is peak. But I really need to stop because then my heart rate goes up too high at night. Then I don't sleep good. But yes, I'm obsessed with second dinner. I'm also obsessed with Coke Zeros and lime. I've just been craving it so much that I went out, got a pack of Coke Zeros, got a pack of limes, cut them up, and that's what I've been drinking all summer. And that's probably why I'm just slightly dehydrated. But yes, Coke Zero and a lime wedge, sounds so good. I also am obsessed with letting all my calls go to voicemail. I love my grandpa let his calls go to voicemail. My husband, sometimes him too, straight to voicemail, unless he's watching the kids. There's just so many times I'm like, voicemail, voicemail, voicemail. I will watch the call come in and just stare at it and not answer it. Just go to voicemail. Just tell me what you need there. At this point, I just need people to send me voice notes because I'm not going to answer the call. There are some people I answer the call to because getting a hold back of them is a little tough, but yes. I'm also obsessed with solid core. I took my sister's teacher in training class last Saturday, so 2 days ago. I was so sore. I work out every day, so I didn't think I was going to be sore from solid core, but the very first half of class is pretty much all core work and ab work, and the planks and like the lifted planks and twisted planks made me feel like my abs were fully separating. Now I know I need to probably brace my core better, but I was so sore on yesterday, that I couldn't even laugh. Like, my son would touch my belly just to, like, be playful like he is. And it would hurt so bad, I'd have to tell him to go away. But solid core was so fun. It was so difficult. Even my hip flexors hurt really bad. I texted my sister about it, and she said it's because I didn't put all my weight in my front foot during lunges. That's crazy because I thought I was. And I felt the move in my hamstrings, so you would think that I was doing it right, but I guess I wasn't. So yes, I love solid core. I don't think I'm going to get a full membership. I feel like it's so expensive. Like $99 to get 4 classes a week seems a little ridiculous. I also don't love that kind of a workout. What I really need to do is go to the gym and lift heavy weights, but I've been putting that off really bad. But yes, I really enjoyed solid core. My sister is the best coach, so if you go to the Leewood solid core, book with my sister Chinya, Cheenia. She's amazing. Great playlist. I was singing the whole class, even though the class was very difficult. I'm going to pause really fast and turn on my kitchen lights for better lighting. Okay. I think the lighting was going down because the sun got covered up with clouds and don't want to ruin that YouTube experience. Anyway, I am also obsessed with planning an imaginary Disney trip. I think about Disney all the time. And maybe it's because Disney videos get served to me on social media, but I think about going to Epcot all the time. I think about that Guardians of the Galaxy ride. I think about the ride that goes through the big ball thing. That was really fun. I did that with my kids. I think about the Elsa ride. I think about the place we ate that all the princesses came. I think it was like Akershus House. Disney people don't come for me. But I've been planning an imaginary trip constantly. I go to the Disney World app. I go and I plug in the hotel that I really want, Art of Animation, and I go and I plan the dates and I look at how much it is and I'm like, oh, that's very expensive and this is why we only go once a year. So we are going to Disney World this March. I'm really excited to continue this tradition. I don't think anybody's joining us, so we might be going alone, but I keep planning an imaginary Disney trip in my head, even though I have an actual trip coming up in 3 weeks. We are going on a long road trip. I'll tell you all about it more. But in 3 weeks, we're going on a big road trip that I haven't planned much for. So anyway, last thing I'm obsessed with is, and I keep getting fed this on my social media as well, the 2027 Toyota Land Cruiser in black with the Java colored seats. It's $70,000. That is a ridiculous amount for a Toyota, I will say. Do I love Toyotas? Yes, I love my RAV that I've had for the last 3 years, that I paid off 2 years ago. I love that car. But what I would do to trade it in and get a Land Cruiser, an all-black Land Cruiser with brown seats, would be amazing. My husband keeps saying no. Because and it's probably because I've told him so many times, I'm never going to have a car payment again. I'm never going to have a car payment again. But look where I am now. So we have almost both our cars paid off. We're so close, maybe one more month, and I will have both cars paid off, and we'll have no more car payments, and then I can save up for a Toyota Land Cruiser eventually. Okay, also this week, moving on to pop culture, was Taylor and Travis's wedding. I'm going to give a disclaimer. I have been enjoying Taylor's music these last couple years. I loved Taylor Swift when I was younger. I do love her music. I'm not going to lie. I do love her music. I love when it's played anywhere. I play it in the car. My daughter loves Taylor Swift. I love her. I'm not in love with like her lifestyle, like her using her private jet all the time. Don't get me wrong. If I had a private jet, I would use it all the time without caring about other people's opinions. And I don't love her lifestyle, and I don't love like her clothing style either, for that matter. Sometimes she has an outfit that just hits, like especially during the Chiefs games, but I'm not in love with her style. But I really also, saying all these things, that I'm a Taylor Swift neutral person. I just don't understand the extreme hate for her. I was on my LDS mission during Snakegate, so I don't know what side I would have been on. I am a Kardashian apologist. Like, I love them. But I hate bullying. I hate fighting. I hate when people gang up on one person, which is kind of what happened during Snakegate with Taylor Swift. But saying all of that, as a Taylor Swift neutral person, I, for the longest time, did not believe Taylor and Travis were like really in love. Like, it never has felt like a love match to me. But I'm glad she's happy. If Taylor Swift's happy, I'm happy. I know a lot of people hate the MSG like idea, but I kind of love the idea to have it at MSG because of the tunnels and the privacy aspect, the security aspect. No matter how many helicopters go over, like, nobody's going to get a picture of the wedding. I cannot wait for her to post the wedding. And as of Monday, July 6th at 11 a.m., I have not seen any pictures of the wedding. I'm so excited to see them. But yes, I love the idea of having it in Madison Square Garden. I really want to see how they transformed it to not look like an arena. I found it funny that pretty much every actor and actress except for Blake and Ryan were there. Oh, and the Kardashians and the Biebers. I guess they were in Idaho for the weekend. But I felt like every random actor was there. I love seeing people posting their wedding outfits without saying that they were at Taylor and Travis's wedding. And everyone looked so good. Obviously, it's one of the bigger weddings of the year, let alone maybe the decade. But I loved everybody's outfits. I just need to see Taylor Swift's dress. I need to see if it is what I'm picturing in my head for her to be. I wonder if she's wearing a red lip. But I bet that wedding was her dream, which I'm so happy for her. I wonder if she used her Disney money that she got from from Toy Story to pay for the wedding. Because I bet that just writing that one song for Toy Story 5 probably paid for that whole wedding. And that's probably why she did it. Just, I knew it. I Knew You is so good. I love that song so much. So if it did, I'd be happy. But I wonder, I just assume, and that's me assuming that one Disney song would be enough to pay for possibly a $10 million wedding. I just wonder, I want to know how much it cost. But I know everything around it has been so private, so I'm really curious. I mean, there were Sprinter vans, there were like sets, there were arcade games, security, obviously. I gotta know how much it costs as a budgeting person myself. And she got married on a Friday, which is kind of random, but I love the fact that she's going to be able to watch fireworks every year for her anniversary. And I know she loves the 4th of July because she always threw those 4th of July parties. So happy for Taylor Swift, no matter what my opinions are about her. Moving on to Love Island USA. I'm going to try and keep this brief, but does anybody watch the show Paradise on Hulu? Because they were playing that song, like the theme song for Paradise, during the couples discussions on Friday night, and it was killing me. And I also loved the karaoke challenge. That was a lot of fun. I love when they switch things up like that. Bryce and Trinity closed themselves off this week, and I thought that was so perfect to me. But Corbin and Parmita closing off the exact same time was so confusing. Like, you guys barely knew each other and you're deciding to close close yourselves off. I feel like Corbin and Parmita are just such a good couple because they match each other's energy in their mind, if you know what I mean. Like, they're in the same mental level. Anyway, spoiler warning for last night's episode. I'm okay with Parmita and Corbin getting voted off. They were obviously not my favorite couple, but I kind of started to like Parmita in the end, even though her voice drives me crazy. Not her accent. I'm not like dogging on her accent, but just like the way she talks, like her vocalness, I don't know, kind of would make me a little annoyed. Anyway, moving on. I love Kenzie for sticking to her word when she says she hates a man. Like, she didn't even try to go back to Corbin. She never tried to get back with Zach. But I don't love her pulling Gal, knowing that Jen really liked him. But, I mean, I know it's Love Island. I know she's playing Love Island right. It just felt wrong. Like, I would not want to be friends with Kenzie outside of the villa. And she made Dylan cry. Like, I cannot watch a grown man cry. That is so tough for me to watch in like a game show sense. So I had to look away when Dylan was crying because his feelings were hurt. And it's just like, Kenzie, how many more love triangles are you going to be in? And then she said, a kiss is like a handshake. What? A kiss is not like a handshake. I mean, maybe in like a challenge, but like I said in episode two episodes back, kiss currency in Love Island UK felt a lot heavier than in Love Island USA. Like in Love Island USA, they're like, oh, we kissed and whatever. But in Love Island UK, it was a really, really big topic, which I have not been catching up on Love Island UK for like 2 weeks now. So that's going to be tough. I might have to wait until I'm done with Love Island USA to catch up. Anyway, Gal and Jen were not, or Gal, I said Gal. Gal and Jen were just not a good match. I just wanted the best for her. Like, I really liked Jen, but Gal used Jen to get into the villa. But I'm glad she left in style. Like, she left walking off just great. And then Gal ended up out during the round table. It felt just like sweet, sweet karma. I loved all of the Melanie and Caleb shipping that people were doing online, but I mean, that would not have worked. Melanie, I think she likes like toxicity. I think she likes a man who challenges her, and Caleb is not like that. Like, and also Melanie is like a Philly girl and Caleb is a Southern guy. Like, just no part of my brain makes me think that those two would work out well. Now, I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before. But I think it was a cute ship, like a cute like pairing that people wanted. But anyway, I'm glad Caleb got to leave and get taken out of the pressure that is Love Island. Anyway, going on to movie night, I felt like the boys kept saying like, there's a double standard, like the girls can kiss and the boys can't. But the problem wasn't about the boys kissing other girls. The problem was, like, the disrespect wasn't each other kissing other people in Casa Amor. The disrespect came from Casey saying rude things and hurtful things about Anaya. Like, he just said so many things. He just said so many hurtful things in total. Like, there was even a comment, I think I said it in an earlier episode, when he was like, oh, these Casa girls will give us what we want, but the Villa girls don't, implying he wanted, obviously, more than just a cute little relationship. Anyway, it made me so mad, like, hearing them call double standard when that wasn't a double standard based on kissing. It was disrespectful it wasn't disrespectful that they were kissing. It was disrespectful that they were saying rude things about the girls. And I was watching Carl during all of the fights, and it was funny, like, the way he was, like, hiding behind a pillow, because that's how I would be. I hate fighting. Like, in no world do I want to sit and watch people fight. It makes me so incredibly uncomfortable. But it's funny that I relax every day from my life as a mom and juggle the craziness of the day. I relax by watching Love Island. I relax by watching these people fight. So, do I hate fighting? I don't know. Maybe it would be different if I was there in person. But I like how the boys were called out. But it was funny how they would just get all up in arms, like, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. But when the girls were called out, especially Kenzie, she just said, I'm sorry. And they, like, started getting heated at her. Like, why couldn't the boys say, I'm sorry? That really irked me. Like, how the girls could say, I'm sorry, I did the wrong thing. But the boys, like, if they did the wrong thing, they started just going off on the girls. And, like, even Sincere calling out Melanie's tiny relationship with Corbin, not even. That was just crazy. I did love Casey's apology. I think reality really smacked him in the face, and I think he's really starting to realize that he's on a TV show, and that movie night really just showed him exactly, like, what America is seeing, and I don't think he liked it. So his apology felt really genuine, but I think he's starting to not be on camera as much anymore, and he's not talking as much because he knows he's in the wrong, and he knows that America is watching what he's doing. And I'm only going to say one more unkind thing today. I did kind of say something mean about Parmita. But I also want to say, when Titi said that she doesn't have friends in the real world, we know, Titi, like, you just don't seem like a very nice person. So it didn't really surprise me when she said that to the girls. Okay, moving on to 90 Day Fiancé. I'm going to try and be fast. With 90 Day Fiancé, I'm struggling to see any of these couples as good matches, except for Shay and Annabelle. I feel like Shay and Annabelle really, truly love each other. They're just in weird cultural divides. And same thing with Mallory and Rashid. I feel like those two couples really, truly care about each other and really want to make the relationship work. And the drama that is put onto them is, like, producer planted. Edward, the guy from the Dominican Republic, he is trying so hard with Melissa. He's trying to please her, trying to do what she wants. But she kind of treats him like a kid and gets mad at him for so many things. Like, I know she's like a girl boss, #girlboss. And she's made a name for herself. But I think it's hard for Edward to not only keep up with her, but to meet her expectations, which may or may not be too high. But I don't think she can see that he's actually trying his best. It seems like he just doesn't know, like, he's learning, and I feel like she's not giving him the space to learn and do what she wants. Thomas, the guy in Southern California with Paula, the Brazilian girl, he doesn't even try with her. I feel like he just makes her mad just to cause drama, and he just does things just to piss her off. And Thomas is the one causing the arguments, in my opinion. Like, he knew who Paula was beforehand. Like, so, like, why is he just causing arguments constantly? And then finally, Aisha and Maxwell, the girl who's in Nigeria right now, they could be a good match. But I think Aisha refuses to accept that Maxwell is the way that he is because he's from a different country and has different cultures. She wants him to become like an American, which is unfair because he's not an American. So I feel like I said, most of these couples don't feel like good matches to me. But except for Shay and Annabelle, I do love them, even though Shay's kind of cuckoo. And I also love Mallory and Rashid. I feel like Mallory and Rashid could have a beautiful life together someday. Anyway, moving on to Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I did not watch part 2 of the reunion, but I did watch part 1, and one of my favorite quotes was, "Your only coworker is a girlfriend in Florida." Listen, your only coworker is a girlfriend in Florida. That was said by Kelce to Rosie because Rosie had a sugar daddy. But anyway, it was then revealed that, Rosie may have been cheating on her husband. So that was kind of interesting how they kind of breezed past that. Like, they're like, there's proof that you were in the car when he was pulled over for drunk driving. Anyway, skipping over that. Kelce and Rosie, the people who were saying that quote, they're always arguing, honestly, because I think they're just so much alike. Like, I think that they compete with each other, and so that's why they always have to argue. I mean, Kelce is like a true Rhode Islander, and Rosie's almost like a transplant. She was just on the news. So I feel like that's another reason why they might be arguing, because one is a true Rhode Islander and one's not. I will say, another unpopular opinion, but I find Rosie kind of annoying and always playing defense. Like, she did win the argument the one time she called Kelce a slam pig, but Kelce wearing the slam pig, like, sash made me, again, team Kelce. Like, yes, is Kelce a little ridiculous? Is she a little heavy-handed? Yes. But I'm still team Kelce. I also don't really like Rula either. I loved her nose job that she had done. Did she need it? No. But I did really like it. And Joellen was really heavy-handed on Rula and her husband's infidelity. But do I understand why Rula and Joellen are having a fight? Why are they always in arguments? No, I don't understand. Why are they arguing about something about Alicia? So random. Anyway, Liz not coming back is very sad. But if she really has skeletons in her closet, which she keeps denying, I would hope to get it covered like a Jen Shah, like they did with Jen Shah in Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That was absolutely crazy. I loved seeing the SWAT team videos. That was so fun. What a good addition to Salt Lake City. Finally, in pop culture, last thing is Emily Kaiser's pregnancy. Now, you probably don't know who Emily Kaiser is. She is an influencer. I've been following her since like 2022 or 2023 because she has a son that's about the same age as, or right in between the ages of my son and my daughter. So I started following her for her cleaning videos. Her son passed away last month, like around last Mother's Day back in 2025, to drowning. And so she's a really controversial figure because she stayed with her husband, who was in charge of watching her son when he died. And I just thought, I heard her podcast with Jay Shetty, and she said, I will read the quote, "I forgive him because I would hope he would forgive me if I were in his position." And that really hit me. And with the fact that a lot of people are like, why would you stay with a man that is the reason why your child passed? And I loved hearing like her take on forgiveness and thinking about if she was in his shoes, like she would want him to forgive her if she was the one who was in charge of Trig when he passed. So I loved that quote. I have always looked at her like she's a good mom. Like, all of her posts pointed to her being such a great mom, cared about her kids, tried really hard with her kids. So she just shows how great of a mom she is. And I like how private she's being with her pregnancy, but I do understand why it's controversial, because people are like, why would you have a kid with somebody who is the reason why your son passed? But like I said, I love her lesson on forgiveness that I feel like we should all take on. Like, if you were in the position of somebody you need to forgive, like maybe you would forgive them more. Anyway, moving on from kind of a heavy topic, Emily Kaiser, I will talk about my to-do list. I need to complete the Power Life July Challenge. I think the hardest part of the July Challenge is making it to every location in Kansas City 3 times, because some of them are like 30 to 40 minutes away. Like, I live in Lee Summit, so Prairie Village is far. But I did it last year, and I'm going to try and do it again before our trip. Speaking of our trip, I need to start booking things for that. I did book a hotel in St. George for one of the nights. A lot of the nights we're staying with friends and family, so I don't need to book a lot of things, but I do need to book a hotel for our little stay in California and our stay in, I think Flagstaff is where we'll stay in Arizona. I also need to pick a dress for my sister's wedding party. She's having like an after wedding party this weekend. So I need to pick a dress. I think I'm going to just go with something I already own. I just can't justify buying another dress. So I might go with the one that I wore to her pre-wedding brunch because it's cute, it's summery, and it's still formal enough since she's going to be wearing her wedding dress. I can't just wear jeans. So, and I love to dress up, so that's not a problem for me. Another thing I need to do is plan a fun activity with my kids for every day. They are constantly asking, like, what fun thing are we going to do? What fun thing are we going to do? So I'd like to plan something fun for them each day to just really make some core memories this summer. And one of those things that I want to do is I want to go to the splash pad tomorrow and invite all my friends. That way my kids have other kids to play with. So that's what I'm going to do after I finish this. I'm going to start texting my friends to see if they would like to come to the splash pad tomorrow. Even though it might be a little cloudy, it should still be hot enough to splash. And then finally, I am excited to see the live action Moana this week. I'll probably go on Friday and I'll probably take my kids and my cousin's kids and everybody who wants to go. So I'm excited. I have a really fun week planned ahead of me. And a really busy week. I'll try not to always be in a rush. Anyway, last week I talked about how I felt, it was kind of short because I was with my husband, so it's kind of weird to talk about deep things on the podcast. But I was talking about how, like, I feel a little left behind because I see moms who are working moms and who are growing their businesses are growing so much faster because they never stopped when they had kids. And I read this quote on Pinterest last night that I really wanted to share. It says, how can you be ahead or behind in life when you are moving on a path that only you can take? You are moving on a path that only you can take. So you cannot be ahead or behind in life. And so every time I look at, somebody my age buying a mansion or somebody my age getting a super good promotion, it's hard for me to not compare, but how can I be behind? Like, I'm on my path, on my journey, and maybe there's somebody who's looking at me and saying, oh, I wish I could do what she's doing. So it's something I need to think about when we talk about comparison. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I have so much fun making this podcast. So even if 0 people listened, I would continue to make it. And I love you guys all so much. Thank you so much for watching or listening. And even if it's on 2 times speed, I love you. I love you. I love you so much. Bye.